India. I'm going to present you on biopesticides and biofertilizers, interesting business opportunities in China and elsewhere. The overview of presentation, global trends and market outlook in China, organic oriented investments in a few years in China, past and current trends of global markets, target segments, key drivers and inference we draw, opportunities in commercial and organic agriculture, biopesticide challenges, biopesticide products and commercial feasibility. First we touch upon global trends and market outlook in China. Total crop protection market worldwide is about $40 to $45 billion. And this includes insecticides, fungicides, herbicides and plant growth promoters. Due to recent changes in the regulatory mechanism in Europe, about 10 billion worth of generic pesticides are getting phased out in the next few years. As you are aware, China and India thrive a lot of this business of generic toxic compounds to sell all over the world. Due to re-registration guidelines now, about 10 billion worth of generics are getting phased out. Introducing new pesticides complying with the recent guidelines needs about $250 to $400 million, and a toxicology research, bioefficacy research will take about 10 years of time. It's impossible for any company or industry to bridge the gap of this $10 billion, which is part of the total market, in such short span of time, and there's not money. Whereas biopesticides just have less than 2% market share now, and it may touch 5 to 6% in the next few years' time. Let's say China as a case, how the markets are growing. China with a better per capita income, meat consumption is going up. This is extended to go by 15% every year by 2015. Pork is the most important of all the meats consumed here. Annual per capita consumption is 38 kilograms of pork. Higher meat consumption means higher feedstock needed. 6 kilograms of grains are required to convert to make into 1 kilogram of meat. That is, the consumption is going to be a very large consumption of grains here. Olive oil consumption for a developing economy, 10,000 tons per year, and is growing every year. Look at the organic agricultural scenario in China. A company called in Shanghai, Tony Agricultural Development Company, they have a very large organic farm near Shanghai. They had a stall last year in the Shanghai Expo. They got $10 million in 2010 and $28 million in 2011 for setting up organic farm, vegetable farm. They have 9,000 paid members, paying almost 10,000 yuan per year to buy organic food in Shanghai. Yiwujian Organic Farm has invested another company about $3 million in 2011. Large companies in IT sector are also investing in organic agriculture in China. A founder of NetEase Incorporated started 10,000 pigs project in a province in China to produce organic pork. Little Donkey Farm, Beijing here, allows people to grow vegetables by renting land or subscribing to their vegetable delivery services. Like this, the urban China is going towards more residue-free food. China consumes about $1.5 billion worth organic food per year. It's pretty large. Right. The global consumption is about $45 billion worth of organic food is consumed globally. Out of it, 1.6 is in China. This is growing exponentially every year as the purchasing capacity is increasing. China's 3 northeastern provinces they have largest organic production nationally in terms of volume and in terms of area. It is said, as per statistics published here, about 4.1 million hectares of the total area of production has increased from 3.8 million hectares. By 2017, 1 to 1.5% of this Chinese agriculture production is expected to be in organic agriculture. Let's see the biopesticides past and current trends. Overall market for chemical pesticides is on decline. In a $45 billion global crop protection market, conventional chemical pesticides are growing at 1 to 2% per annum. India and China are producing largely these generic chemicals. Biological pesticides, safe products are growing at 10 to 12% per annum. From 2005, it was about $600 million for biopesticides market. It has touched about $1.3 billion in 2012. In the next few years, it is expected to touch $3 to $3.2 billion of biopesticides out of $45 billion global market. North America and Europe are the largest markets for biopesticides, growing at about 15% annually, and Asia is growing about 12% per annum, and Latin America registers a little less growth rate of about 5%. What are the advantages of these biopesticides? There is a growing demand for these natural origin biopesticides. Public awareness on risks of chemicals, risks caused by toxic chemicals, risks caused by environmental pollution, health hazards. The media, the scientists, the government and the public are getting aware of it. People are expecting farmers to produce residue-free food, poison-free food. Biopesticides are very effective even in small doses. These products of biopesticides decompose into non-toxic substances. First of all, they are non-toxic. They do not remain toxic even after application. Therefore, the adverse impact on environment is very minimal. Regulators in every country, they are placing restrictions on maximum residue limit. That is, what level of pesticide can be there in grain, fruit, vegetable, etc. This negates the use of certain types of chemical pesticides which are very high level of MRL. Therefore, we are going to see a big shift from the market where biopesticides are going to be very popular. The target segments are growing. Use of biopesticides not only in organic agriculture, in conventional agriculture, it is increasing for better pest management. Biopesticides are considered a viable alternative to conventional synthetic pesticides in the market in commercial agriculture. For organic farmers, managing pests and diseases using only residue-free biopesticides is compulsion. Until few years ago, this segment did not exist. Today we have large organic farming, residue-free farming segment. This includes urban citizens and consumers keen on growing and consuming organic food themselves. The key drivers: influence of education, social media and other information from the media, dissemination tools that was lacking in the past. Today internet is so fast, message comes at the lightning speed. Government agencies, regulators who encourage and promote residue-free environment framework, because social costs, health costs, indirect costs to government and society is very high when people consume toxic food. Massive urbanization of cities in China and also in India, that's leading to superior lifestyles. We have in this country 50% plus urban population, rising from 26% in 1990, and is expected to be 70% by 2035. India, no different. We have 51% of Indian population in urban society. We are talking of more than 0.6 billion people living in urban society. Discussions on health impact of residues on children and feedstock for animals is a social talk. People are more concerned about it. What does this all indicate? Growing urban population will demand more residue-free food, feed and fodder. People want clean food. Ecological and sustainable agriculture is increasing as well as demand for organic products. Demand for biopesticides, biofertilizers and bioagri inputs will increase substantially. Therefore, mind of pesticide industry has to change. Producing more safer crop protection solutions, not just pesticides. Last 60 years we are living in a different world of producing pesticides. Farmers, consumers want today better, safer crop protection solutions and not just pesticides. What are the opportunities for investment in organic agriculture? Biopesticides constitute today less than 1% of global organic food market in terms of cost. Use of certified biopesticides is bound to increase. In organic farming, it is not just biopesticide, certified biopesticides. If this grows to at least 2.5% of organic food market, we are going to see $1 billion market just in this segment. Conventional agriculture is separate. About 5% of the general crop protection market is again biopesticides. That means we are talking of $2.8 to $3 billion opportunity by 2050. From present $1 to $1.2 billion, in next 3 years time, this industry is going to touch about $3 billion. In this growing recession economy which we see worldwide, very few industries are poised for such a fantastic growth, and biopesticides is one of the very few products poised for such a big growth. This, though is very interesting and encouraging, there are many challenges. These biopesticides are basically non-GM, non-genetically modified. Therefore, not much scope for IP, patents, intellectual property, less scope for that. That means majority of them are public domain, non-GM organisms. Therefore, big companies, multinationals, their interest in this segment has been very, very less until now. But now, the scenario is different. I'll explain later. Multinationals in the last 10-15 years have been focused on crop biotechnology, means GM soybean, GM cotton, GM corn, genetically modified. That's where the patent IP is stronger. Therefore, biopesticides till now are operated by small, fragmented, regional firms. But scenario is fast changing. My first slide, we went back and said, $10 billion growth gap now. Multinationals do not have any much products. Therefore, acquisitions have started. Bayer Crop Science, Germany, has acquired a company called AgriQuest, a biopesticide company from US for $500 million. BASF acquired another company, Baker Underwood, for $1.1 billion. Syngenta acquired another US company, small one, for $120 million. Every day in M&A, merger and acquisition activity, you hear multinationals are showing keen interest to acquire more and more biopesticides because till now they were myopic and not in the having domain strength in this. Now they are coming in a big way. There are some technical challenges which investors should understand. Microbial pesticides, particularly the entomopathogenic fungi, are dependent on high humidity and moderate temperature. That means they are not uniform in performance in all weather conditions. Market is not always congenial for such favorable ecological conditions. Therefore, results often become erratic and farmers' expectation of uniform performance will not be there. Therefore, very careful segmentation, market positioning has to be very careful. Another regulatory challenge, majority of countries do not have well-defined registration guidelines for biopesticides. We are looked by the same angle like a conventional toxic pesticides, and the same data package, same regulatory constraint is imposed upon. I'm happy to say example, Indian government about 10 years ago simplified the guidelines for biopesticides. Today we have more than 500 small regional biopesticide companies, and the growth is about 8% of market today is bio in India. Overall worldwide 1 to 2%. India has 7% market share of biological because government is proactive in making the new guidelines for biopesticides. Is different from conventional toxic pesticides. The dossier requirements are made separately there. In most developed countries, cost of dossier development and meeting regulatory requirement is not affordable for small biopesticide companies. And small biopesticide companies can hardly lobby for more practical approach with regulators for this non-toxic grass bean generally regarded as safe products. Ultimately, what I would like to conclude is biopesticides is not just a boutique product. It is not just for organic agriculture. Biopesticide is technically feasible, commercially viable products for general agriculture. And this represents a big opportunity for investment, and I'm sure China is a huge agricultural country, economy. We as a company, as association of producers, are keen to cooperate with Chinese distributors for investment, for introduction. We are keen to collaborate with Chinese companies for joint venture, and we can work together. I'm sure if 1.2 plus 1.3, 2.5 billion people, if they adopt a good safe technology, and we can save many lives, health risks can be reduced, and we can create a better environment. Thank you very much for giving an opportunity here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prakash, for an excellent speech on the biopesticides. Indeed,